Hey friends, I apologize for the quality of this particular video. I wasn't exactly planning to shoot a video today. I'm over here at my warehouse and all I have is my phone on me, but I decided I want to show you something I came across on a job last week. So every now and then I'll see just real head scratchers that not ones where I look at and go, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to address this one?" I mean, I've had some puzzles that I'm always proud to be able to accomplish, but no, this is a different type of head scratcher. This is one where you look at the problem and you go, why did someone think that was okay, plumber or not? So I went to this customer's home and they told me that they had stopped using their toilet because they started noticing whenever they would flush the toilet, they would hear what sounded like, in their words, a waterfall down below. Typically, when you have a leak after a toilet's flushed, if you don't see any water but water's leaking after it's flushed, that's going to be a result of a poor connection between the toilet and the flange, which is the drain fitting that the toilet mounts onto. So that flange is designed to sit directly above the finished floor, right on top of it, and that gives you the sufficient spacing that you need for your wax ring, which will then compress down. So usually when you have a leak at a toilet, only when it's flushed and you don't see water popping up anywhere, that's going to be an issue there with the flange, either at the wrong elevation, which has caused the wax ring to not be able to compress properly and create voids, or you may have a crack on the flange, which has caused enough movement to create voids in the wax. Regardless of that wasn't really the case in this particular one. So this job, I went underneath the home, they had a crawl space, and I found that just beyond that flange, so you got the flange, you come down, and then go a little bit of a horizontal, somebody had attempted a patchwork repair where they attempted to connect ABS piping to PVC piping. Now, there's a couple of different trains of thought on whether or not you can properly connect ABS to PVC. I think you're going to agree with me in a minute that the way this was done was not okay at all. I'm going to show it to you. But here in Georgia, we're not really allowed to glue ABS to PVC. Just our code doesn't allow us to do that. There is a transitional glue that is manufactured, and some jurisdictions in other areas will allow for that glue. Georgia doesn't, because the temperature at which the ABS and PVC needs to actually melt and solvent weld properly is slightly different. So I guess they just decided that they didn't want to use a transitory glue for whatever reason. Maybe they're worried that one wasn't going to melt. I don't know. Seems to work in other areas, but that's sort of a moot point. So typically what will be done is you'll use some sort of mechanical connection, whether that be what we call a Fernco coupling, which is just a rubber coupling with some clamps on it. Those work really well. If you want to step it up a little bit, you also have more like armored type couplings. Those are good for underground repair work, or anything where you're worried about some external factor pushing or causing damage. It's basically the same thing, a rubber coupling, clamps, but then it's got a whole armored material over it to protect it. Well, sometimes you can also use a threaded connection, but this, whoever installed this, here we go. So this was the pipe. See it completely, we're not even in there. They used some form of tape on this thing. And it was installed about like this. We had, hard to tell in the video, but we had a bit of a gap there at the bottom where it wasn't sealed properly, and every time water would flow through and just pour on out of there. So I cut that thing out and did it correctly, but man, there are some jobs I come across that I just go, why? I mean, I don't think you have to be a licensed plumber to look at that and realize there's something wrong with it. Yeah, somebody decided that was acceptable, and they unfortunately decided to leave it like that. But anyway, just more of a interesting thing I just want to show you all. Make sure whoever you're using for your repairs is qualified. Here in Georgia, we're supposed to be licensed. Everyone who works in your plumbing is supposed to hold a plumbing license, just like a medical doctor would hold a doctor's license. Electrician needs to hold an electrical license. Doesn't always happen, so you make your own call on if you're going to actually use someone who is being ethical and has gone after their license, or if you're going to use someone who's sort of learning on your home. But regardless who you choose to use, please make sure they know what they're doing and you don't end up with this under your home. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.